We live in times where it has now become amply clear that the correct order of things is to have the planet first, the people who inhabit the planet thereafter, and for businesses to operate within this larger context of the planet and its people. Any imbalance in this order and the consequences of that imbalance were earlier in the nature of forecasts or warnings, but have now started manifesting themselves around us in several forms. And therefore, the need for action has never been more urgent. But what we need to do today is to spend time in understanding what really this action should look like. And even before action, what should we learn? What is the need? Uh, what we need to spend time today doing is to understand where the true lessons of sustainability, where the true lessons of balancing ecology, economy, and the business imperative lie. And we will find that that probably doesn't lie in our immediate periphery. Our belief is that the balance between ecology and economy, uh, something that many of us know as sustainability, uh, eventually boils down to two things. An absolutely genuine regard and appreciation of everything that the planet has bestowed us with, and an empathetic society where we stand for one another. Our belief is that these two pillars are exactly what define the indigenous way of life and has defined the indigenous way of life for time immemorial. And that is why it's absolutely imperative that we go back to the indigenous way of life and understand what constitutes an organic balance between what is natural, what is social, and what is economic, and achieve this balance. These lessons sometimes do not stare us in the face. These lessons need us to spend time with indigenous communities across the world. These lessons will need us to uh, engage with indigenous communities as equals, be open to the fact that they may have lessons which we may not have comprehended yet, be open to the fact that they may have lessons for us which we haven't understood completely yet, and be open to the fact that these lessons may not come to us in forms and formats in which we are comfortable with right now. Keeping all this in mind, we at the Tata Steel Foundation have set up something called Samvad, which is a platform for dialogue with indigenous communities across the world, which in the last 6 years has convened more than 30,000 women, children, and men from over 120 tribes of India and 18 countries beyond India. And the sole purpose of Samvad and all its components is to keep the dialogue going. Samvad in Hindi means dialogue, and to keep the dialogue going with indigenous communities. And it is only now, after almost 6 years of consistent effort, that we've started to understand many things which are inherently indigenous. We've looked at some wonderful examples of ecological and economic and social balance from within the country, from remote parts of the country. We have seen examples from Africa, from Papua New Guinea, from Australia, and all of them have left us spellbound. And what has left us even more spellbound are the people who are behind these solutions. I would urge all of us to spend the time and have the temerity and the humility to understand what the indigenous way of life means for us as a planet, and to start engaging with it meaningfully and respectfully.